You're watching New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News at noon, with David Navarro, Shirley Nallicott, and meteorologist Bill Evans. Now, Eyewitness News continues.
Our top stories this afternoon: the deep freeze. Temperatures will plummet this weekend, and we may hit 0 degrees for the first time since 1994. Mayor de Blasio just spoke about how the city is preparing for the dangerously cold temperatures and what New Yorkers should do.
Need all New Yorkers to understand to take all the appropriate precautions. You should take this weather very, very seriously.
Meteorologist Bill Evans will have another update on the AccuWeather forecast in a few minutes.
2 men were seriously injured in an explosion at a factory in Wallkill. The factory makes fire extinguishers. Officials say the men were filling up a fire extinguisher tank when it exploded. Good afternoon, I'm David Navarro.
And we begin now with a developing story this half hour. Newscopter 7 is over a massive fire still burning at an industrial park in New Jersey. Nearby schools are even closed today because of the fire. Hello again, I'm Shirley Nallicott.
And I am David Navarro. The fire broke out yesterday afternoon at 3:30 in Hillsborough Township. 21 hours later, the fire is still burning. So far, there has been 1 minor injury.
New Jersey reporter Tony Yates is live at the industrial park with the very latest on this. Tony?
Yeah, good afternoon. Contained but not under control, not even close. The one good thing about this fire is that it is not spreading, not even to 2 other buildings that are on that site. Now, the fire, the cold, the wind, these have been tough conditions for firefighters. It's just that massive of a fire. 2 old buildings, more than 240,000 square feet, every bit of them in flames.
We're looking at probably 3 to 5 days minimum of putting water on this until it's out.
Mutual aid from surrounding fire companies has made it possible to have firefighters on site around the clock since the fire began at the old military depot that's been used as storage facilities. It's not just the fire giving them a tough time either. The weather is brutal.
The infrastructure, meaning the water lines and the sprinkler systems, are old and not really fit for what's in those buildings now.
Traffic in the area has been horrific, with people flooding the streets with cars just to get a closer look. It's the last thing local leaders want or need right now.
We just ask that they kind of keep themselves sheltered inside. There is still some smoke out there.
Here they coming back to me. Now, the EPA is on site. They're monitoring air quality. So far, they have no serious concerns other than the fact that, just take a look at it, that is very thick smoke. They're telling people to try not to be downwind of it, to stay inside if they can, and avoid the area. For now, we're live here in Hillsborough. Tony Yates, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Tony, thank you. And new at noon, a pedestrian was killed on Manhattan's west side this morning. Police say a woman was pronounced dead at the scene at 11th Avenue and West 37th Street. They say their investigation is ongoing. No other details were released. And new at noon, another person is recovering following a disturbing slashing incident. This one was in the Bronx. Police say the 20-year-old woman was walking on Holland Avenue in the Van Ness section at 12:15 this morning when a man grabbed her. Investigators say the suspect tried to take the victim's cell phone. When he didn't get it, the suspect slashed the woman across her face. The victim says she fell to the ground and was kicked. The suspect ran away with the victim's purse.
Police are investigating the shooting death of a teenage boy in Brooklyn. This happened just before 10 o'clock last night inside a home on Miller Avenue in East New York. Authorities are speaking with 2 other teens who were there when the 16-year-old was shot. Police are also interviewing a woman who may have witnessed the shooting. A gun was found at the scene. Well, New York's health commissioner issuing a warning about influenza, declaring it prevalent in the state. Flu cases have been recorded in 44 New York counties. That include all 5 New York City boroughs. Now, this flu season has seen more than 800 hospitalizations, but fortunately no deaths at this point. With the prevalence declaration, any health workers who have not been vaccinated must now wear masks around patients. Charlene.
And now an update in the arrest of ex-Olympian and downhill skier Peekaboo Street. The gold medalist is now claiming self-defense after police say she pushed her father down a staircase and locked him in a basement. ABC's Clayton Sandell has the story.
She's used to fighting for first place on the slopes, but downhill darling Peekaboo Street is preparing for a fight in court, charged with assault and domestic violence, accused of throwing her 76-year-old father down the stairs of her Utah home and locking him in a basement.
My father just tried to attack me in my own house in front of my children.
The former Olympian claiming self-defense. Overnight, her lawyer telling ABC News she takes care of both her elderly parents and that her father becomes combative at times.
He got his hands on me and I put him down the stairs. So did he fall down the stairs?
Police say Street admits she pushed her father after he pulled her hair in a fight after he accidentally bumped his car into her house.
You attacked me. Oh my God, are you kidding me? He slapped me on my face.
Prosecutors say the 44-year-old mother of three was the primary aggressor during the December disturbance. But Street's attorney tells ABC News she is a loving and caring mother, adding Peekaboo Street deserves our respect and admiration for taking care of her elderly parents, even when it has not been easy to do so. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Denver.
Lamar Odom is returning to the public eye right here in New York City. He was spotted at Madison Square Garden during Kanye West's show for Fashion Week yesterday. West is Odom's brother-in-law. Odom sat with his estranged wife, Khloe Kardashian, and her family. This is the first time Odom has been out in public since being found unconscious at a Nevada brothel last year.
Got a lot of attention, that whole event.
It did.
Let's turn now to meteorologist Bill Evans. He has the after-school AccuWeather forecast.
Well, David, Shirley, we're going to be looking at temperatures just kind of hugging the 20s, 26, 27 the next 7 hours as we go towards sunset. And we'll see the temperature dropping after sunset in the mid-20s. But then all the fun begins tonight with snow squalls, and we're going to be looking at what will be, periods of snow that could be making the roads wet and slippery and overnight tonight. And then tomorrow is the really cold day. But after school today, kiddos, it's a little chilly. It's 28 degrees with some sunshine breaking through a mostly cloudy sky. So be very careful. We're going to be looking at some very brutal, dangerous cold coming up. I'll explain more of that in the AccuWeather forecast for the weekend in just a moment. David, back to you.
Thank you, Bill. A potential boost in federal funding may result in more subway trains on the L line. The federal transportation budget proposal for 2017 includes funds to build 3 new power stations that help run these lines. So that would allow the MTA to run 2 more trains per hour along the L line. The funding also calls for improving the flow of passengers at the Bedford and First Avenue stations.
And coming up in Eyewitness News, nearly 17 years after the Columbine school shooting, the mother of one of the killers is opening up.
And I keep thinking, constantly thought, how I would feel if it were the other way around and one of their children had shot mine.
More of Diane Swayer's exclusive interview and why the mother of Dylan Klebold is talking about the massacre now.
And Barry Manilow having to undergo emergency surgery. We'll have an update on his condition after the break.